Alright, for this one I'm going to put together the knight variant. She's a little more scantily clad, as you can see from the art. Yep, you read my mind. That's what I'm doing. And she does have her own custom base. Awesome. I'm psyched. This is what I was talking about earlier about the peg holes, so I'm sorry. You can see the image of the fully done one, but look at that. That's actually awesome, and it's got peg holes for her feet, which is nice. Yeah, it must be a pain in the butt to cast this. Actually, no, it wouldn't be too bad. You just have to prioritize, because you can do it in one piece, but you have to prioritize one side. It's pretty awesome, though. Yeah, it's got like little flowers growing, but it looks like it's just... Oh, it's going to be so much fun. So that's that. And her sword is a little bent. Just a little. So I'll have to work on that. So here, I'll start on the sword, because this is something that I see a lot. So here, I'll just snip the end off here, but it's bent, but I need to clip off because the mold was poured this way, straight down. So when you're clipping this off, you can see the point right there. What you're going to want to do is clip off everything beyond the point, and then now you still have a little bit left, but it's on this side, so then you go on top. Nope. Nope. Nope, I got to do a little more shaving. Going on each side, sorry. There we go. So I got most of that. Now I'm just going to take my razor and just gently... I'm using my thumb as a support so that I don't break the tip. And I broke the tip anyway. So now I gotta trim even more to try to get that point back. But I will have to hit this with the heat gun to bend it back again. Because her hand is here, holding the sword. And there's a lot of little bits of flash here that I gotta be worried about. Come on. Just be careful when you're doing this, because it's really easy to break these little tendrils of smoke off. Okay. Now I actually think I'm going to use the heat gun right away to get rid of that, because I don't have to bother with it. Normally I wouldn't do it immediately, but this time I am. So this is a Wagner heat gun. You can use a hairdryer too. Just keep it a fair distance away from the model. You can kind of see where I'm holding this. Like that distance is pretty good. So... heat gun's just a really much hotter hair dryer. Uses the same principle. It's a lot hotter. So make sure you have a nice place to put it that won't burn or catch on fire. I've got a hook here on the side of my desk. That's how I can get away with it. So it's pretty warm, so I'm going to bend it to where I want it. And then I actually have a cup over here, and then I'm going to dunk it in. And the water isn't that cold, it's just, you know, room temperature, but it's cold, a lot colder than what the heat gun just did. And so there we go. It's straight again. So I'm just gonna dry it on my shirt, just gently, because when I start gluing, I don't want any of that water in the way. Just gonna gently dry it off. And a lot of the water will stay in little holes, you know, little grooves and holes. So I'm just literally blowing on it to just move some of the water. Most of it will dry on its own, but that way I actually get most of it gone just by itself. So there's the sword. Sword is done. Alright, here's the point I try to make in all these This peg is actually useful now, because this actually is how she's going to stay on that base. Now I'm just double checking to see if there are any mold lines. And I'm surprised there isn't a single one. A little bit of flash here, but there's no mold line. That's really surprising. Okay, and on her legs, you can see there's a peg here in the middle and a peg hole. So I'm going to just dry fit that right now. Wow, that is the best fit I've seen. Look at that. Look at that. Just no line. That is the best fit I've seen on a Kingdom Death model so far for the leg. That's great. Oop. So the same thing on this leg. I'm going to cut off the end of this peg on the heel. But I'm not cutting that long peg off. Just the very end of that. Because I need this peg to put her in the base. So again, I'm just going to look over her leg. Oh, there's a little bit of a mold line on this leg. Just a little one right on there. I'm going to gently scrape that off. Wasn't a very big one. Got lucky there. So now, since I've already dry fit the legs, I can put a little glue in. It was a really tight fit, which means I don't need a lot of glue. There. Because all that, there isn't any like air gap. So I need just a little. So. Yep, that's such a snug fit. I'm so surprised. It's gorgeous. It's great. Cool. But she's got a little bow, so just be careful with the bow when you cut it out. Well, I'm gonna have to add saving files to my monthly Kingdom Death ordering, saving all the images and whatnot, because they don't repost them all the time. I don't know if I'm gonna use that bow that I just cut out, but we'll see. Looks like her hair is pretty clean. I don't see any mold lines. A little bit of flash, but let's see how she fits. There's another peg here and another beautiful fit. I'm very impressed by this one. Oh, and it looks like the bow goes right there. There's a little hole right there. That's where the bow goes. So let me glue this in really quick. Again, since it's such a tight fit, it doesn't need much glue. Just hold that there. And we'll see where the sword goes, because I think the bow goes there, but the sword might go there. Not quite sure. Yep, the sword goes there. So not quite sure what the bow is for. Might save it, I might use it, I'm not sure. So there's actually a peg. I don't know if they planned it that way. There's on the sword, there's a little bit of a peg on the one hand, but there's no peg hole on the arm. So I'm going to just cut that off. Because I was actually trying for some space here. So yeah, it looks like they planned for a peg hole, but it didn't quite work out on this one, at least in terms of the cast that I got. Now I'm trying to make sure that that connection is good on the two arms. It looks pretty good, so I'm going to glue it. Put glue on each arm. Sorry, I'll bring it forward here again. Come on. There we go. Now I'm going to just line up these two arms, and I'm going to try to make it fit as best I can. There we go. And because there are only 2 points and the sword is so big, I'm actually going to put a little glue right by her hair here. A little bit. And I need to use a little bit of glue to get that in place. There we go. There. That way it has 3 for such a big piece. It's got 3 contact points. And it shouldn't affect any of the painting. So there she is. And it looks like, I'm going to do a quick double check. It looks like that bow, I'm not quite sure where it... Nope, there it is. It's like, I knew there was a place for that bow. It goes right here. right on this leg. So we'll glue that on really quick. Oh, nice, Jason. That's good to hear. Alright, so I'm going to take that peg on the bow and I'm going to put it right down here. Whoa. If I don't glue myself to the model. There. That's where the bow goes. It's actually a nice little thing to add. So, now that that's done, go straight in here. Just like that. Perfect. There she is. I love that. Composition's great. Model's great. There's a little bit of flash left over on this bow. But other than that, we're good. That's the Order Knight. The regular, just the Knight variant. I think she's going to be a pinup eventually, but she's beautiful. I love it. So that's it for that one.